Hey there, thank you so much for joining Archangel Alts. We're going to do our live Market Watch Instant Insights. So here we're looking at CND, and wow, I wish I was looking at this a second ago, huh? I actually just got an alert on it. So I'm just going to do a very short Market Watch. There's a lot going on, but I actually want to kind of get rolling with things pretty soon for live trading. Woohoo! So ONT, they're going to be launching their ONG is ONT gas. That'll be within a day, and we're going to keep our eyes on that. Meanwhile, that has caused a nice little bump, about 300. So that's actually 3,000 if you're looking at the full amount there. Over here it was 1,500 to 1,800. We need ours at about double, and let me show you where that would be. Hold on, gotta sneeze. Okay, sorry about that. So you can see back here, just in September, really not that long ago, galaxy not that far away, all this stuff will be taken care of. You can see that there's a reason for having confidence that this was where the bounce was going to start happening, and it did for a bit. That's why I'm saying, watch out. This is not a bull run, because this is just here, okay? So in the grand scheme of things, it is teeny, it is weeny. But the spike in volume is a humongous deal. 3,600 BTC. That's a really big deal. So keep your eyes open on that. Add ONT to your list. Trade carefully. We may or may not be actually going in on positions on ONT. Just like to keep an eye on these things, and your options are open. Speaking of which, any trading that you do, please join us, learn. But you do so at your own risk. We are not professional financial advisors. No certificate on the wall. Are there any real professionals in crypto? I don't know. The developers are professional cryptographers, but the stock guys are good at stocks. Not really seeing any of them taking any kind of risk in moving into crypto because it's so much tougher. Yeah, it's just a very different market. You have to understand the pulse of things in a different way, in a better way. Traditional stock trading doesn't necessarily translate extremely well. But ONT, it only has to move about 18 points to earn 1%. So while it's on the rise, we'll be watching ONG. Very cool. MCO, not usually a huge fan of, but it looks like it's getting the exact same spike. So you know what? We're just going to pop through these. Oh, ONG. Okay. CND is more gradual, a little bit more organic. BNB, we like BNB. Not really much to report on Binance's own coin. XLM is a little bit, this is a pretty substantial dive that it took towards the end of last month, but it's coming back. ICX, not really that big of a deal. We're going to start zooming in here now that we're getting lower in those. So this would have been a good thing to track. I would not have gone in on this one. I may have taken a chance on this one. This is one of those coins that if you can see the blue where I have this highlighted, and then look over to the right where we see the current trade value, 622, that's actually 6,200. So if you're looking at points of entry, I always look at it in the actual chart itself. And if it were down here at 6098, that would look like 610 in the chart over there, and that would look like 623. Plenty of room there. So here at 618, I would only be looking to get in like 618 to about 623.4, and that only has to do a third of what goes up there. That's why we're going to talk about the principle of thirds. Very, very cool. VIA, not usually doing this much, so that's pretty cool. Obviously, this was a similar move that a lot of them were doing first thing this morning. Very risky time to get in. Same thing, but delayed by several hours. XMR, not to be confused with G. Mana, babana, bafana, mana. So not really interested in most of these others. Let's see which ones are our fan coins, the ones that we like. Gas, sometimes. It's at 177 BTC 24-hour volume, and that's actually a little bit higher for it than usual. Salt went down another 1%. Oh, you poor thing. Okay. Well, hopefully they deserve the delisting that is coming. So, 5 coins, in case you haven't already looked at the news or anything else, 5 coins getting delisted. Cloak, Mod, Salt, Wings, Sub are going to be gone by the 22nd. So you got a week to figure that out. Pumps may occur during the week. I really don't know if it's going to be worth watching any of that. Lind might be interesting. We like Lind. Really only had to move 2 positions to get in there. It's only got 35 BTC, but look at what it's done. I mean, there's going to be a lot of Morse code now that we zoom in. In fact, I almost can't even draw it. Isn't that hilarious? 209, 208, 206. Okay, so there's a little bit of movement in there. Not something we're going to try to get into at this time. Steam, really like Steam. Getting so close to our clearing positions. It spiked at 869. We need it around the 885 range. And if we're watching it when that's happening, then guess what? We might try to get even more. We'll just see. So there's 856. That is the next step from when it was, I would look at it right here, about 890. So this drop was unfortunate, but it happened right in sync with Bitcoin. So it's the kind of thing that's not to be, unexpected. We know that those things are coming. Nano was down to 2200. Now it's back up. We expect that to be like in the 2500 range for a high. Storm, mostly binary movement. Kind of tough to get in and out without getting stuck for a few days. Not the best move in my opinion. BAT, basic attention token. I like to call it basic attention span. 33.90 to about 36.30, not bad. So in this case, like current position 35.62, we only needed at about like 35.90 something. So that would be like 30. We're looking at the 2 hours, so let's get zoomed in there. So if this is 35.60, 35.90-ish, you could do a little bit less, but that's back to where it was. Actually kind of curious if we were to just put in something a little bit low and see how it responds. It's, in Bitcoin world, it's about $780 at 35.11. How much of a weighted effect does it have with it being around 500 Bitcoins 24-hour volume? Yeah, there's a lot of empty space here. A lot of room for movement. Very interesting. So as far as the market, as far as the watching of the market goes, today we're just looking at this day in charts, the response. We've already told you about the delisting. We're tracking coins that we think have an interest over, real growth over the next several weeks and several months. Being a little bit more cautious in the ones that we like, and we're going to do some deeper diving investigation on those to make sure that they're kind of staying on the up and up, because we do not want to be stuck with, thousands of Bitcoin dollars, significant positions in anything that might get delisted. We don't have a lot of hodls, but they have a lot of value while they're hodling them. PHX, Phoenix coin. You can see it spiked at 255, showing really good signs of recovering where we need it to. Do we have anything above that range? 280. I think 284 is the highest. 285 is the highest. So 285 is right there. I got a little bit tricked in that range. That was around, well, just at the end of last month, so it hasn't really been that long, so not all that bad. It's just barely made it to being a hodl. We don't really consider it a hodl until after a week, and then it's a midterm length position. It gets a little bit tougher to drag it all the way to where that is. But anything 50 points is something that we see regularly over a day or two in most of the coins. So it's not very unusual. Let's see how much further we have to go. A lot further. I'm going to keep trying this. Just, I've gone this far now. I'm kind of dedicated. But I mean, looking at the 15-minute candle just still really isn't enough to be able to get a feel for what our positions are doing, to see why I got stuck up there. But that's how you learn. That is how you learn. So you can see that that's, some of the gradual move from 46, 246, 244, 236, 244, 236. Pretty common range. Okay, I think we're now getting into, yeah, there we are. Okay, so this was, a really good sign of recovery there. But we're almost to where we slipped up and believed that the next wave was going to be stronger than it was. So, and one of the things is you want to learn to watch these trends so you don't get tripped up in, following the trend downward the wrong way. There's absolutely, it's almost a necessity if you're going to actually trade in this market to learn how to hit it on the way down anyway. But let me show you what it looks like when you don't know that that's coming. Okay, so we had this significant one, it was down here. This actually was a little bit of a sign of weakness, but then this was a good spike and it recovered. There was actually room for position if you got right in at 265, 267, you'd be out. We did a lot of this, by the way. When we get stuck in a position, we've usually, made tens and tens and tens of dollars on the way before getting stuck in something. And you may be thinking, why didn't you make hundreds or thousands? Well, we believe in spreading our risk out so that we can continue to circulate the same money over and over again. And we do tens of Bitcoins worth of trading to pick up dollars along the way. And those dollars add up to hundreds, and then we have more to trade. So with a 98.7 accuracy, we're hanging in there for the long haul, 14 months. And going. Woohoo! So this obviously was a strong up. We've taken advantage of each of these. This was a strong, indicator that it was going down. So what I was doing is waiting for it to reach the bottom and then get back in. And unfortunately, after it did this and we saw a repeat, here's this trend. So, assuming that this was a good time to get in, and we probably did there. And so we looked at this trend and assumed that if that did that, then we probably have one more in here, and we probably earned some in there. As things were weakening, this is probably the one. Nope, this is the one that I got caught on. Just being overly hopeful that it would correct and not paying attention to the downtrend that it followed. So, yep, totally my fault, but fortunately that's one of, I think, 12 total, 13 total that are affecting us at this point. So, every time there's something like that, you kind of hope that you have already chosen a strong enough position, looking at the lifetime average and choosing a very small amount of that. In fact, let's talk about the principle of thirds. That's part of it. So I really like Phoenix. I like trading Phoenix for good reasons. We've done really well with it, and those should clear soon. If Bitcoin doesn't pull things down significantly with it, then it will. So here we go with Ravencoin. Really like Ravencoin. We have one very early position in it. Not real proud of that one, but we're not going to hide this stuff. We're going to look at it head on. So still, 697 is, 40% of where it was when it first came on. We did a lot of really good trading in there. This was a significantly low dip to buy in on, and then it kept going down. So at that point, it seems like people were extremely excited. People are excited on Reddit. They're really behind it, and just something, not the best thing. So we are, long-term looking for positions in Raven. It has the right combination of the value versus the volume. And then we just watch the rate of growth and, how it reacts to Bitcoin and everything else that we do. Lots of binary along the way, but at some point, people are going to come back around to some of these coins. And when they come back around at the right times, not only can we clear some of those positions, but we will make more money along the way while we wait. XVG has been sitting kind of flat. not everything that's in a negative right now is actually a bad coin to trade. You know, all these cycle through. So you'll time it sound cool. So Bitcoin Cash ABC is sitting a little bit flat, but you know, it's got some volume. You know, it was just like the thing. And Bitcoin Cash SB, same situation. Don't even see where it is right now. I'd imagine lower than, yeah, there it is. Lower than the other one. Those guys have had a huge impact on the market, and not in a good way. I'd like to see them turn their projects around. I believe ABC is represented just as Bitcoin Cash on Coinbase. So while I was taking care of editing other videos, I actually messed this up right here. So when it's at, for instance, 7,400, 74 would all be about all it would take. So that would look like a fairly significant amount of the speed that is going right now. Keep your eye on waves, like we will as well, but not a good time to go in on it yet. But when it does, it goes quick. It moves very quickly. So it could very easily go from, you know, 7,200 to 8,200. And, you know, it's just a matter of picking something safe in between. Ion's sitting a little bit flat. In fact, it's in stealth mode, apparently. Here we go. It dropped down to about 315. We need it at about 400. And it's one of those also is actually a 4-digit coin instead of 3. Over here it's 322, but that would be 3,200. So you just have to drop that last digit when you're calculating your positions when you're looking on the exchange. So that only goes back to, you know, the mid to, well, actually the last of the month. So this was the drop off that we got stuck in. So, you know, that's 3 different times out of the hundreds. Not too terribly bad. Okay, really, really good, actually. So, you know, the name of the game here is not just in being perfect all the time. Absolutely nobody can do that. No bot can do it. No monster whale can do it. Although they could if they knew how to. So give us your Bitcoins and we'll do it for you. Hey, sounds like a plan. So looking around 322, we would like to see it be around at least here. That's barely anything that has to do. But, you know, in order to clear, it's got to go up pretty substantially, but it could do it in no time. So we are going to continue to keep an eye on Ion and continue to trade it. Avoid Salt, avoid Wings, avoid Mod, avoid Sub. In fact, it's no surprise that these are the bottom feeders at this point because they're going to get delisted. Ironically, people are still trading Salt. Don't do it. Not a good idea. Do not try to play that game. Your money, if you're making 0.5% here, 0.5% there, you're not going to care which ones it was that got you there when you're done. So don't be looking to game the system trying to, you know, play something that is already as volatile as it gets. You know, trading cryptocurrency, don't go for the most dangerous things. Yeah. Yo, 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 yo. We usually like, it's a little bit down on its luck right now. We're not stuck in anything, so it doesn't really affect us right now. But we're only looking for 2 to 3 points with this, so, you know, keeping an eye on it. XRP, a lot of people are asking about XRP. Wait for the right bottom. And honestly, you know, wonder how JPM and some other things that are being announced are going to affect Ripple's performance in the marketplace. I personally think there's room for about 3 of them to succeed exceedingly well. Steam is headed up again. Really like that. So without further ado, I think we're going to end this Market Watch Instant Insight and get to our live trading. So thank you for watching, and come join Archangel Alts. Please subscribe to our YouTube, ring the bell so you get notices when the new videos go up. We're trying to be consistent and keep them rolling. Please join our community, Archangel Alts. Just click the link in our description in this video. Come and join us. It's free. You will be able to deal with live Q&A directly with us. We're continuing to do live trades for free while we get people joining. Eventually, we'll continue with a lot of that content, a lot of the same stuff you see right now, but it'll all be compacted together where we can talk about stuff and you can get tips. I'm going to be doing all of the basic tutorial stuff through there for free as well. It'll be paid for the more advanced stuff, and the live trading will be covering the advanced stuff while we're trading. So you will see exactly what we're doing, what we're talking about. All right, God bless you guys. We will see you at the live trading. Come join us. Archangel,